Good morning, community. How is everybody doing? I hope you guys are feeling as excited and as blessed as we are here in our home. My name is Sidney Coulter. This is my wife, Mama Connie Bridgeforth Coulter, and we're here welcoming you to the Wose community. Wose is a Wose is a community of the sacred African way. The way is Ma'at, truth, justice, and righteousness. We believe in the teachings of our elders and our ancestors that the Creator, the Most High, created the universe and all life and has placed in each of us a part of the divine spirit. Ashe. God living in us and through us has given us the right and the power to establish peace and justice in all human life and true harmony with all creation. We believe in the living faith of our ancestors. Ashe. We're here today on July the 26th to celebrate the Most High, to celebrate life, to celebrate our ability to come together as a community and worship and lift the Most High up, Ashe, and to spread the blessings to each and every one of us here at the Wose community. Be you on the East Coast, West Coast, the South, it doesn't matter. The Most High is blessing each and every one of us every day. And I think that we need to understand and celebrate when we have that opportunity to gather together as a community, to gather together and raise our voices, to pray for one another, to sing for one another, to help share the burdens and the joys of each and every one of us here in this community. Ashe.
Ashe.
I am filled with love, I am filled with joy, and I understand the blessings here. Here at Wose Community, we welcome each and every one of you. We want you to enjoy, to participate, to sing, to raise your voices as part. Now it is that time in the service where we bring on, it is the litany, the historical, litany of sacrifice, excuse me, I meant the historical tribute. And this is that time in the in our service where we identify and speak on those that have done great things before us. We speak on events that have happened before us because we understand the importance of letting everyone remember and know what is going on or has went on in our history, our story. As Minister Imhotep says, I-story, Ashe. Because we know that if we don't tell our story, then someone else will. Ashe. We all know the story about the gazelle and the lion, and it depends on whose story that you're hearing. Ashe. The lion said the gazelle was like infringing on his territory. Gazelle said he's just trying to drink. You know, the lion is going to have his side of the story. So now we want to go to someone who has just been a stalwart with this particular portion of our service. A brother who is consistent, someone who I believe has done one of the first historical tributes, or at least since I've been there, is regular with the historical tributes, always comes with that fire. And at this point, I want to turn it over to our own brother Ty. Ty, can you share with us some of your knowledge in that historical tribute? Ashe?
Ashe, hey, thank you, Baba Sidney. First, let me build on what you did and send a shout out myself. I want to send a shout out to Sister Foxy Brown, who's with us today from LA, from Chris. Okay. As Sidney said, we have come to that time in our service that we call our historical tribute. It's a time that we here at Wose take out each and every Sunday to pay honor, to pay homage, to pay tribute to some significant, not necessarily famous, but significant person, place, event, or community in our organization. This morning, before I present the tribute, I want to tell a little bit of a story. We are doing a new members orientation class on Tuesdays and Thursdays night. Thursday nights. And this last week, our class was on what we call our sacred text, right? And so one of the new members in our class was moved when we talked about the book 2000 Seasons, which is a novel. And she knows that I am, or at least used to be, the person that you contact if you want to do a historical tribute. So she contacted me and said she was so moved that she wanted to do the historical tribute this week. I was scheduled to do it. I'm going to do it next week. I'm going to give it to my sister this week. So I'm going to introduce my good sister friend. She's an author. She's a poet. She's an attorney. She works tirelessly in our struggle for reparations and for prison reform. She's one of the newest members of WOSE. She's my friend. She's from Washington, D.C., Sister Nkechi Taifa.
All right, thank you so very much, Brother Ty. And yes, I was moved and inspired by all of the sacred texts. And actually what I wanted to share, I know the historical tribute gives homage to a person, place, or event. I guess you could say this is like an event of historical significance. I wrote it back in 1980, around 1980, something along those lines. And it really was inspired by not just 2000 Seasons, but also the destruction of both Black civilization, both of which are sacred texts here at I will say. And so it's going to be kind of like in verse form. This is kind of creative, but I think that it is fitting. It's called The Prophecy of the Coming of the Pale Face. Mama, mama, can I go out today down by the river to catch some fish and play? Well, my ebony child, just for a while. Return at the drums beat. Our village is going to meet. You are very kind, my mother. I will do as you wish. When I hear the drums talk, I'll come home with my fish. Skipping through the bush, happy as can be, sees an elder coming with a limp in his ear. Who do you be? The elder asked, so happy and carefree. I see you're alone, yet unafraid. You must learn many things with your age grade. No, I'm not afraid, and neither is my age grade. In manhood training sessions, we recite out loud our lessons. A spear we can skillfully cast. We chant the glorious stories of our past. Poison darts we expertly throw. We can shoot an arrow through a bow. The trees, herbs, and plants we all know. But a link seems missing from my life that training cannot fulfill. I need to put in practice my well-learned skills. The wise elder smiled and stared in his face. Brave minds like yours will strengthen our race. Between your destiny and your past lies that missing link. When you discover your path in life, you shall not shrink. But what's the matter, little brother? Please tell me why your eyes look big as two cocoa nuts. Down there by the edge of the coast, I thought I saw a man that looked like a ghost. Are you sure it was a man and not the sun's glare at noon? I'm sure it was a man, but we'll know pretty soon. Did it have stringy yellow hair with cold blue eyes, pale dry skin with mouthful of lies? Did it carry a stick that shoots fire around its neck, wear a cross? They capture African people and claim they are boss. They steal our people away in the ships with the big sails. We know not where they take us, but we've heard horrendous tales. Papa, I don't understand, my elder. What does this all mean? Listen, from the river, a distant scream. Look, my brave young brother, you must hurry with your feet back to our village, have the drums start to beat. Try and fly back home quick as a bird. Tell our people what we've seen and heard. But elder, I hate to leave you with that limp in your knee. Why don't you come too and tell what we see? Not yet, little man. Do as I say. Danger is ahead. We did not heed the way. The ancestors warned in a foreign land we would toil if we let the pale face step on African soil. I will peer through the shade of this baobab tree, then quickly limp back to tell what we see. Running back home, swift as a gazelle, to let the village know that all is not well. As the village hears the rhythmic talk of the drums, beautiful ebony faces quickly come. Now, little brother with eyes so serious, what is your message? We are all very curious. We trust it is important what you have to say, for you had the drummer summon us in the midst of the day. I have just come from the river, exclaimed the brave young brother. What I saw would make you shiver. Oh no, cried his mother. What did you see? Demanded a sister with a baby on her hip. I saw a pale face carrying a long fire stick. And the elder that I met with the limp in his knee said, many years we ignored the ancient prophecy. But where is he now? Questioned the sister with the baby on her hip. By an old baobab tree watching the paleface load his ship. Oh, alas, moaned his mama, we have strayed from the way. Destruction is now coming to the gods. We must pray. We must fight, demanded a man with a spear in his hand. We must drive away the paleface from the shores of our land. Beware, whispered a grandmother. The ancestors foretold if we strayed from the way, we would be captured and sold. The ancient ones warned in a foreign land we would toil if we let the white destroyers step on African soil. But I've heard of an army, countered the man with the spear in his hand. It is led by a queen who drives the paleface from our land. This great Nzinga, he continued, has the sticks that shoot fire. Her army knows the way. Their resistance never tires. She seeks new warriors everywhere she goes. I pledge myself to fight with hundreds I know. I want to help them, shouted the young brother with braveness on his face. I want to join her army to help save our race. I think I found the missing link to fight. I have the will. I want to put in practice my well-learned skills. Oh no! Oh no, screamed his mama with fear in her eyes. If you fight, you will surely get hurt or die. Seems wiser to try and fight to be free than do nothing, be captured, argued a voice with a familiar ring. Quickly looking around, the lad was revealed to see the elder he had met with the limp in his knee. But what did you see? The people asked as he limped toward them. Through the thick shield of an old baobab tree, I saw hundreds of chained Africans. A paleface carried the key. What I saw was the result of an ancient prophecy. But the central question is, will our village remain free? He is right, added a blind man beginning to speak. Although I have no sight, I can plainly see. Turning to the people with awe in their eyes, he said, what the warrior with the spear is pledged, this young brother knows is wise. The blind seer shakes some shells out of his hand, kneels to the ground to feel how they land, then towards the four winds and the sun bright and round, he speaks as his mind feels the spirit's sound. Young brother, you've almost finished manhood training sessions. The ancestors made it known. You study well your lessons. Many moons will soon pass before you become a man, but the spirits claim you'll fight to defend our land. I know what will happen, although my eyes cannot see. I know what has happened in our glorious history. Long ago, we all were wise and closely followed the way that when we give, we also receive. That was the natural way. But as thousands of seasons dance slowly on, generations of us died, generations were reborn, and as those who followed not the way came to our shores to learn, we shared our knowledge with them, but they shared nothing in return. We taught them our ancient systems of mystery, but they stole, destroyed, and plagiarized our history. But what of future seasons, blind man who sees with his mind? What will be our destiny? What do your shells find? Many villages will be destroyed, he said with a sad whisper. They will march away, black mothers, fathers, brothers, and sisters, because we failed to heed the prophecy of old, the warning that the ancient soothsayers were told that when we give, we also receive, and never, ever, ever be falsely deceived. For the ancestors that warned in a foreign land, we would toil if we let the pale face step on African soil. But what about my son? Wept the boy's disheartened mother. Well, will he be marched away like so many others? That I cannot say, replied the old blind man. But he will fight to save and defend our land. All is not revealed to me what his future will say, but he will be a finder of new paths to our ancient way. Then the brave young brother embraced his mother, and went to stand beside the man with a spear in his hand. And to all listening today, replied the wise blind man, I have one last thing to say. We all need to seek and refine our natural way. But can that be done if we let the pale face stay? It is time for all to go and decide for yourselves the way. So all dispersed from the square to make their decision, to determine what would now become their life's mission. Knowing down by the coast awaits the paleface with his ship. The sister gazed down upon the baby on her hip, and then she smiled proudly at the brother with her arm around his mother, for she knew this day she had refound the way, and in struggling to save their land, his mama would soon understand. The blind man, whose mind could see, nodded and slowly hobbled away alongside the elder with the limp in his knee, and the wise old grandmother departed, counseling the way to many others. And then finally, the brave young brother felt that common link, and the man with the spear in his hand gave him a wink, and they both knew that the way of their village would be to defend their land.
That we do. This is a time of our service where we ask to put something in the storehouse. Ashe. We're going to have the litany of sacrifice, and it'll be done by my wife, Mama Connie, and Baba Tai. If you guys could, if the two of you could help us as we bring forth offerings for our community. Ashe.
Ashe, our blessing to do today. And as we get started with our litany today, as Mama Darnisha posts the information about how to give to our two different communities, but we are a community of one, one family.
Yes.
We come together. You know,
Yeah.
wherever we are, we're coming together now. So
see.
we're blessed to be here, and we need to continue to bless our communities at this time, especially now. So as we start the litany, I start with the reading. Save us, O Holy One, by your name. Vindicate us by your might. Hear my prayer, divine protector. Listen to the words of my mouth. How can we repay the Holy One for the gifts that have been given to us? We will lift up the cup of salvation and call upon the God of our ancestors. We will fulfill our vows to our Creator in the presence of all our people. Gladly we bring our sacrifices to you. We will praise your name, O Amun-Ra, for it is good. Umoja, unity. We shall strive to maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race.
Community, Kujichagulia, self-determination. We shall define, name, create, and speak for ourselves.
Ujima, collective work and responsibility. We shall build and maintain our communities together. Our brothers and sisters' problems shall be ours to solve together.
Ujamaa, cooperative economics. Together, we shall build and maintain our businesses, and together profit from them.
Nia, purpose. We shall make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community and the restoration of our people to our traditional greatness.
Kuumba, creativity. We shall do as much as we can in any way that we can to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than when we inherited it.
And then the last principle is Imani, faith. We will believe with all our hearts in our God, our people, and in the righteousness and victory of our struggles. Amun-Ra, Ashe. And at this time, as we pray, we come together. We thank you, Divine Creator. We are so thankful for all of the sacrifices and gifts that have been shared today. We are so thankful to be able to support our beautiful community, our productive and benevolent Wose community. Please continue to remind us, oh omniscient God, creative God, remind us to seek out all the ways that we can continue to practice Kuumba daily, as we do as much as we can, in any way we can, to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than when we inherited. We're so honored to do this work. We just need to be reminded on a daily basis, because ancestors did so much with so much less than we have. We have abundance today. Let's work with our abundance and not forget we have our, so thank you, Amin Ra, Ashe, and Amen. And our addresses here are posted so you can see the address to where you can give to Wose Oakland and Wose Sacramento. It can be done through the Wose community website. We've got the addresses listed here on Holly Street and the P.O. Box in Sacramento. So please bring your gifts to share, and each and every one bring whatever you have. All of our time and talents we need to bring here at this time, especially at this time. Ashe.
Ashe. You know, we want to bring forth the message. But before we bring forth the message, and we're honored to have Minister Makalisi, but if you know Minister Makalisi, you know Minister Makalisi wakes up in the morning with the song. He goes through the day with the song. And I'm sure if you were to ask his beautiful wife, does Makalisi go to bed singing? And I would bet right now that she would say, yes, he does. So right now we want to bring in our Minister Emeritus, Minister Makalisi, and let him wake us up, be alive. Let's wake us up with a song. Ashe.
Ashe, oh, Ashe, oh. We'll say. I'm right there. I hope everyone is doing well, feeling well. If you're feeling as well as you look, then you're doing all right. Ashe, oh. Well, there is indeed this song I want to share with you. I just give thanks and praises for all that's been presented this day. Brother Sudi Ali with his spirit flowing through the music, the keyboard, as well as the vocal cords, and that poetic, awesome historical presentation, historical tribute. All right, Sister Iboom coming with her vocals and lyrics. Ashe. So this song that I want to share with you, we're calling "Be Alive in Me." It's originally was called the Nguzo Saba Rap. It's in a CD that I was blessed to put together and compose. And so I really, what I want you to see is the latter part here where the chorus comes in. The chorus, yeah, the chorus, there you go. I'm gonna do the other parts, but the chorus is goes like this. And when we get to the chorus, I want you to join in. All right, Ashe. Be alive in me, make us strong and free. Nguzo Saba, be alive in me. Be alive in me, make us strong and free. Oh, Amin Ra, be alive in me. Come on, let's try that one time, then I'll go on with verse number 1, all right? Be alive in me, make us strong and free. Nguzo Saba, be alive in me. Be alive in me, make us strong and free. Oh, Amin Ra, be alive in me. 24/7 and 365, doing all I can to make the principles live in the way I walk, in the way I talk, in the way I live, and in the love I give to parents and elders, to my sisters and my brothers, in the self-determination that I show all others, trying to be for real. Be alive in me, make us strong and free. Nguzo Saba, be alive in me. Be alive in me, make us strong and free. Oh, Amin Ra, be alive in me. Each and every day I check my heart and mind to make sure disrespect is no vibration of mine. Then I go a little further, try to know the greatest good, help us grow economically and raise the hood. I do all I can in every way I can to help a sister, a brother with a problem at hand, trying to be for real. Be alive in me, make us strong and free. Nguzo Saba, be alive in me, be alive in me, make us strong and free. Oh, Amin Ra, be alive in me. 24/7, every day of life, trying to help us overthrow Isfet and strife. Prayer and meditation help me keep my focus sharp. Ancestral spirits doing their part. They help me keep the faith. They help me stay strong, keep me living each day with a freedom song, trying to be for real. Be alive in me, make us strong and free. Nguzo Saba, be alive in me, be alive in me, make us strong and free. Nguzo Saba, be alive in me. Holy Spirit, might be alive in me. Septepi power, be alive in me. Oh, Amin Ra, be alive in we. Ashe, Ashe, be alive in we.
Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.
All
Oh,
right, Ashe, oh, all right. Well, just giving thanks for this day of life, health, and strength. Just giving thanks for this day of truth, beauty, and goodness. Giving thanks today for these sisters and brothers of the Wose community and all they say and all they do and all that is yet to come as we continue growing in the spirit of Ma'at, as we continue to grow in so that Septepi power grows within and through us. Oh, Holy One, thank you for this opportunity to share these words. I pray that I will do justice with these words, that you will be happy and satisfied with them, that we might grow stronger as a community, as a people that know our mission, that knows our purpose, and will do all that we can every day in every way that we can to make life more beautiful and beneficial for ourselves, for our families, for our community, for our people near and far, and ultimately make this world a better place in which to live. Lead us and guide us, I do pray, by the power of your spirit, your essence within me. And I say, Ashe, Amin Ra, Ashe. Ashe, y'all doing all right?
Yes, sir.
Doing fine.
All right.
true, true, true.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so I have these words to share, this message to share, and I'm getting some inspiration from, first of all, the Hosea, from the book of Knowing the Creation, passage number 1. They find on page 5. Not reading all the words of that passage, but some of those words. This Ra's description of his creation. Thus Ra, the Lord of all, Lord of the utmost limits, after he had come into being, said, I am the one who came into being as Keper, he who comes into being and brings into being. When I came into being, being itself came into being. All beings came into being after I came into being. Many were the things that came forth from the commands of my mouth. Skipping down a little bit, it says, I formed it from the desire in my heart. I laid the foundation through Ma'at. I created forms of every kind. Many were the forms which issued forth from the commands of my mouth. Skipping a little further, it says, I conceived it in my own heart. Then I want to turn to passage number 2 on page 6, and just a paragraph out of that. This is the creation of Ra as Ptah. Down in paragraph 3, it says, The seeing of the eyes, the hearing of the ears, and the breathing of the nose are communicated to the heart and mind. And the heart and mind cause all perceptions to come forth. And what the heart and mind think and wish is declared by the tongue. So were all divine powers created, and the company of divine powers completed. And finally, I want to share a passage that most of us are very familiar with from 2000 Seasons by our brother Ayikwe Arma, that there is indeed a great force in the world, a force spiritual and able to change the physical universe. But that force is not something cut off, not something separate from ourselves. It's an energy in us, strongest in our working, breathing, thinking together as one people, weakest when we are scattered, confused, broken into individual, unconnected fragments. And so the title of what I'm led to present today is the question: does the Most High, Amen Ra, live in and through you?
Yes.
Ashe, Ashe, oh, yes, indeed. You know, modern science tells us that whatever your mind dwells on becomes a physical part of your being, something called neuropeptides, having the potential of affecting your behavior. It is said that it takes 21 days in a row, that's what they say, 21 days in a row of doing a particular activity or concentration. Maybe they're talking about meditation. But anyway, it takes about 21 days in a row, they say, of this particular activity to establish a new habit or set of values. The greater the quality of the dwelling of your mind on a subject, the greater the probability of it becoming effectively manifested in your behavior. You know, the Hosea passages that we just read, in my mind, reflect that our Kemetic ancestors were conscious of this many thousand years ago as they endeavored to understand the process and the realities of creation and existence. You know, more than 2,500 years of studying the structure and functioning of the sky, to study the structure and functioning of the earth, to study the dynamics of human interactions with each other and all else, that led them to powerful insights and convictions regarding the creation process and purposes. And amazingly, those insights and convictions are powerfully reflected in Brother Arma's perception, which led me to this thing. Does the Most High, does Amen Ra, live in and through you? You know, the profound potential of the Most High living in and through us is something that we encourage all members of the Wose community of the Sacred African Way to understand, to embrace, to nurture, to manifest daily. It is a potential communicated to us not only through our renowned scholars, ancient and contemporary, but profoundly through the Medu Neter depiction of the name of the Most High, Amen Ra, that is posted before us in our Holy of Holies and calls us out in every worship, celebration, gathering. Let's see, that depiction is supposed to be up here on a shared screen basis. I don't know what's, if somebody forgot or didn't get through. I don't know if someone could tell me where we stand with that. Is that depiction going to come up or not? Am I being heard?
Yes, you're being heard.
We can hear you.
Okay, I guess we're gonna have to go on
Yeah, I'm
without
not, I mean, Brother Minister, I'm not sure where Darnish is, but I don't think on Saturday they planned for your depiction to come up.
All right. Well, those of you who are familiar with the depiction, you will notice there are 1, 2, 3, 4, there's seven symbols in that depiction. The first one on the left is depiction of the budding reed leaf, which communicates the ah sound in Amen. Further, it communicates that Amen Ra is the great spirit of life, the first principle of life, the one having the power to become the many. Further, it communicates that Amen Ra is the one that made itself, made its own self. A text from the coffin text says that I am the one who made me, and I wished, I willed according to my own heart, according to my own mind. Further, it says, I made everything that I wished, and I expanded it. I expanded out in it. I expanded out in them. And so the more we open the books of ancient and contemporary scholars, we grow in understanding that this was done by and through Ma'at. With Ma'at being a consciousness developing within the Most High's own mind, within the Most High's own heart, within the Most High's own thinking process during the Most High's becoming in the midst of chaos, in the midst of the noon. With Ma'at manifesting as a force which gives the Most High and all created beings a direction, vision, and power for ever expanding creative transformation of the chaos of the noon. I don't know if you noticed, if you've been around some bodies of water and you notice the reeds, blossoms of the reeds, they're fluffy, innumerable seed-containing blooms are stirred by the breezes which carry those seeds to fertile soil to begin new life. You know, this symbol, this budding reed symbol, calls us who will listen to allow our hearts and minds and every cell of our being to be fertile ground, to be receptive to the liberation and the nurture that each breath of life brings from the Most High, to grow and become great spirits of life who use our hearts, use our minds, use every ounce of truth, justice, and righteousness growing in every cell and fiber of our being to disseminate the truth, the beauty, the goodness of the divine sacred reality that comes, is nurtured with every breath of life, every libation of life that comes from the Most High, to expand it out, to share it far and wide, to share it in the families, to share it in our homes, to share it with our friends, to share it with strangers as much as possible, to expand it out as the presence, as the essence of the Most High within empowers us to do, if we choose to do so. If we choose to do so. Does Amen Ra live in and through you? And secondly, we have that Senet game board, just to the right a little of the budding reed blossom. And when I first saw that, I thought it looked like a kinara. But anyway, the Senet game board communicates the min sound in Amen. It's a symbol for the eternity and permanence of the Most High in all dimensions of existence, including life in the afterworld, and the consciousness of death being the doorway to life within that dimension of the afterworld. Now, Senet was a popular game of strategy and skill in ancient Kemet, and it included various Medu Neter symbols, and surely included reminders of the understanding that the Most High made every person like his and her fellow, and did not command them to do evil, and made the hearts of men and women so that they could not forget the day of death, so sacred offerings might be made to the divine powers of the districts when their death was at hand. The Senet game board served to inspire and encourage young and old alike to play the game of life, if you will, to play the game of life in and through the spirit of Ma'at, to facilitate them passing as honorable ancestors into the afterlife, into what I like to call the Neteru nation, when their physical existence came to an end. This would enable them to continue communing with the Most High and enable them to continue communicating with their descendants and others through the intimate link, of earthly life and the afterlife that was known and embraced in Kemet, and not being left to be forgotten on the island of insignificance. Does the spirit, the power, the love, the wisdom of Amin-Ra live in and through you? Then we have the rippling water that's beneath the Senet game board. The rippling water is a phonetic complement which serves to add emphasis to the end sound of Amin. That end sound was known to be the sound of the energy of the Most High doing the work of creation. It serves to remind and emphasize that the work of creation is ongoing, with the continued flow of the sacred breath of life, that each one of us who participates in that breath is empowered and expected to undertake a righteous and purposeful role in the ongoing work of creation. And the Most High's desire, determination that through each of us and all of us, its work, this creative work is expanded, is continued. Let that sound resonate from head to toe. Let that sound resonate from your heart to your brain, to your eyes, your ears, your nostrils. Let Amin-Ra live in and through you. Then we go over to the right, the top of the right, where that mouth symbol is. The mouth communicates the R sound in Ra. It can also be perceived as communicating the entire seeing, hearing, breathing, declaring, creating process that's embodied in the Memphite theology, in the creation of Ra as Ptah, where we find these words: indeed, every word of God, including the Son, came into being through that which the heart and mind thought and the tongue commanded. And it serves to remind us and to inspire us that a measure of these same powers have been entrusted unto us: the seeing of our eyes, the hearing of our ears, the breathing of our nostrils, the power of heart and mind, by which to perceive and bring into being the community of truth and love with family, with loved ones, and ultimately the world, all of humanity. That's a challenge. That's a challenge. Amin-Ra, Amin-Ra. Then there's the hand and forearm there, beneath the mouth, which communicates the ah sound in Ra. Additionally, it represents the full range of creative acts and blessings that come forth from the hands of the Most High, giving, receiving, setting limits, opening up new vistas. It serves to remind and inspire those who revere the image and essence of nature within to be unceasing, to be always eager, willing, diligent, to turn our hands in every cell and every fiber of our being to the deeds and actions that create, protect, and perpetually serve the greatest good of our families, of our communities, of our world, of truth and love. Oh, does Amin Ra live in and through you? Then we have that solar disk and determinative stroke that are below the hand and forearm. It plays no sound, no role in the sound of Ra, but it serves to clarify that we are indeed referencing Ra. We're referencing that energy, that power that manifests itself in the sun, the great spirit of life that manifests its presence and purposes in and through the powers of the sun. The sun, which has been spoken into existence for daily purposes by the Most High, to provide, to strengthen, to nurture the environment that all created beings need for their existence. This is all through the powers of the Most High, entrusted into that beautiful sun that we see every day. And even when we can't see it, the sun is doing its job. Okay, how many clouds are out there? We couldn't see the clouds if it wasn't for the sun. So the food that we need is nurtured by the sun. You say we need vitamin D. Well, hey, get out there in the sun, get the vitamin D. Our solar disk reminds us and inspires us to always do all we can in every way we can on a daily basis to be the sun of truth, to be the sun of beauty and goodness, to be the sun of hope and love in the skies of family and community and loved ones, and to let that power always be present in the sky of our own consciousness. Oh, yeah. Does Amin Ra live in and through you? So finally, we have that anthropomorphic deity symbol all the way to the right. And again, that plays no role in the sound, but it serves to clarify the word, the message that has come before us through those symbols. It serves to clarify that we are indeed referring to divinity. That's one of the signs in the Medu Neter for divinity, but it's also a sign for royalty. And it was a sign that gave recognition initially that what's communicated there is something that the Most High presents, shares, expects, needs, requires, but it's also entrusted to the royalty, to the king or queen, the pharaoh. And over time, especially through the tradition of Asar, Aset, and Haywood, it became something that was recognized as representing all of the humankind, representing the men and women of the community, of the nation. And so it's saying to us that those things that we understand in the Most High expects them to be manifested and demonstrated in and through you and me. That anthropomorphic nature of this symbol serves to trumpet the truth embodied in the insights that come to us through Amar's work, that yeah, there is indeed this great power in the world, in the universe. It's capable of shaping, reshaping the physical universe, making there be a physical universe, to take the undifferentiated watery mass, the watery mess, finding its own self in there, finding its own consciousness there, finding the spirit, the power of mind, and bringing that power to bear on that stuff and organizing it into land and water, to earth and sky, the creatures that creep and crawl, and to four-legged and two-legged, especially those two-legged kind that we know as the human. So that energy is in us, not separate from us, in us. Especially when we work and think and breathe together, we're not divided, confused, and conquered. That great spirit is not something cut off from us. Strongest in our working, thinking together, breathing together as one people, with it and with each other. So this is the call that we just to do all that we can in every way that we can. Do all that we can every day to meditate upon this, and be one with the sacred essence within. To work on being one with the sacred essence within, and let nothing take us away from it. Let nothing distract us from it. And let nothing have any appearance as being more important than that challenge and that reality for us. Knowing as our Kemetic ancestors realized that your heart, our hearts, is the divine presence within. Our hearts are the divine, our hearts are God within. Not just the physical heart that does what it does. We go and eat, we hope we eat the right foods, and the right foods get turned into blood and other nutrition that our bodies needs, and the heart pumps it all out to different parts of our bodies so our bodies can stay strong. We hope and pray if we're doing the right thing. But there's a spiritual heart, that spiritual heart that can translate what information that comes to us through the seeing of our eyes and the hearing of our ears, and the intuitive knowledge that can come to us through the breathing of our nostrils. And the heart helps us to find the words that we need to understand for ourselves, find the words that we need to communicate with sisters and brothers of our families, of our communities, of our village. Find those words, and then somehow find the harmony of words that come from other sisters and brothers who are striving to be of like mind. We find the words that will inspire us and empower us as it to rise up and do what needs to be done for our greatest good. So let's grow in realizing that the awesome achievements of our Kemetic ancestors, they were not based on any blueprint that came from the Most High. They were conceived and carried out via the seeing of their eyes, the hearing of their ears, the breathing of their nostrils, the power of their hearts and minds. And to analyze and see what is and what ought to be, and then do all they could in every way they could to rise up and be the masters of agriculture, be the masters of medicine, be the masters of architecture in the ancient world. No blueprint from the Most High, but the power of the Most High living in and through them to show them what's the greatest good for the greatest numbers of their people, ultimately for all of humanity. Where would humanity be if we had to wait for the Romans and the Greeks to develop medicine? Where would we be if we had to wait for the Romans and the Greeks to develop some good agricultural practices? So as we move forward to overcome and transform the impacts of thousands of years, how they're talking about the 400 years over here, I'm talking about thousands of years of inhumane disrespect that's been imposed upon us by so many peoples of the world. As we move forward to overcome the impact of the 400 years of the racist pandemic on these shores and throughout the diaspora, as we deal with the current pandemic, the COVID-19 challenges that face us. And as we deal with the lure of self-destructive wannabe gangsterism that is incarcerating the hearts and minds and the genius potentials for far too many of our young people. You know, the actions of our lives, more than our words, the actions of our lives, the things that we do, the measures that we take, the steps that we take, the courage that we show to take these steps. That needs to be our answers to the question, does the Most High, does Amen-Ra live in and through you? And so the answer must be yes, 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 by the things that we do. The answer must be yes, that Amen-Ra lives in and through me, that Amen-Ra lives in and through you, that Amen-Ra lives in and through us. And together we shall do all that we can, every day that we can, in every way that we can, to see to it that this be the reality for our sons and our daughters, near and far, for all eternity. Yes, Amin Ra lives in and through you and me and us. Yes, we can build Ile Omodes all over this country, all over this world. Yes. Hopefully we can find more people that are willing to build woke say communities, not only in Oakland and Sacramento, but in cities where our people live. Where we used to have a saying, and I guess somewhere it still exists, that we we're going to have a woke say community wherever 100 of our people lived. I don't know how many such communities we can find in the U.S. of A. Ashe, we have work to do. We have work to do. We can't be satisfied because we have 35 years in Sacramento. It's a wonderful thing. We can't be satisfied with 40 years in Oakland. That's a wonderful and beautiful thing. But we want to be able to have these kind of celebrations and recognitions, this kind of progress, this kind of spiritual, radical, driven transformations all over this country, all over this world. We have work to do to seek to reach out and find those people. And if we are diligent in doing so, and listening closely, we might hear the Most High say something like this. Yeah, I am in you. I am the courage, I am the faith, I am the creativity, the ingenuity that empowered Asar and Aset, Menez and Hatshepsut. I am that energy that inspired and empowered Imhotep and Carver, and Zinga and Hannibal, and all your fathers and mothers, your sisters and brothers who honored and cultivated the presence and power of the sacred essence in their lives in an exemplary manner. And they are now one with me for all eternity. It was me in Marcus. It was me in Martin. It was me in Malcolm and Medgar. It was me in Harriet and Sojourner and Mary McLeod Bethune and Ella Baker. And I am in you. And what I'm calling on you to do is rise up and accomplish what you must. Listen. Listen to the hearing of your ears. Listen, pay attention to the seeing of your eyes. Breathe. Get that intuitive knowledge through your nostrils. Let your heart listen and see and hear and understand and help you to find the words that you can communicate with one another and not argue with one another. Strive to be of one heart, to be of one mind, and see what needs to be done and know you have the power to get it done. You have the power, that same power, efficient measure of that power by which I transform the noon from nothingness into the universe. You've got the power to transform that oppression into liberation, to transform that self-destruction into self-love and the genius, creative genius. You've got the power. You've got the power. Rise up and accomplish what you must. So I just close with saying, be alive in me. Make us strong and free. Oh, Amin Ra. Be alive in me. Holy Spirit Mott, be alive in me. Be alive in we. Septempi power, be alive in me. Be alive in we. Oh, Amin Ra. Be alive in we.
Ashe. Ashe.
Hey,
Ashe.
Thank you very much for that
What
inspiration.
a powerful message.
Shay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister.
Yes.
Lisi, like no other. Like no other. Thank you very
thank you.
much.
Beautiful message.
The affirmation has been put out there. It's laid out there for you. Be alive in me. And I love it when he says, can I overcome the struggle that I have in my life right now? Can I overcome the pain that I'm feeling right now? Yes, you can.
Ashe.
I am with you. Yes, you can.
Ashe.
Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashe. The word has been given. It is laid out there. We are a people of God. And I see Brother Hanif as we look out there. And Sister Aziza, I see you, and my good brother Natambo, and Sister Tyra, and Sister Rana, and Brother AJ, we're all out there. The message has been given. And now we want to open the doors up. Is there anyone out there listening in right now that wants to join this movement? Anyone out there right now that's within the sound of our voice, within the feeling of our spirits that want to come in and be a part, just put it in the chat line. Just go ahead and type it in and say, yes, indeed, I want to join this movement. I want to be a part of this. I want to join in with Brother Damu. I want to join in with Minister Makalisi. I want to join in with this community and do all that I can. Ashe?
Ashe.
Ashe, Ashe. And right now, as we slowly start to bring the service to a close, in keeping with our tradition, I want to ask my brother Damu if he can reach out and lift us up with that Negro national anthem, with that old black national anthem, with the words of our ancestors. Come on and speak to us, Damu. I see you. All right, Ashe.
Yes, Baba Sunday, and see you too, brother. Your spirit is moving me. Your spirit is beautiful, brother. I just want to let you know that it just speaks to my heart. It just speaks to what this whole community is about, and I love to see that. Just so you're inspiring me. And to Woze Community Church, you guys have a good rest of the day today. God bless you, and let's move forward. Let's move forward in faith and in truth and in the spirit of my heart.
Ashe, Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashe. As we stand together holding hands, virtually holding hands to the great cosmology, through the spirit, if we hold hands together and we walk this path that has been walked by our ancestors before us, as they say that I am in you, I am in you. You can achieve what you mean, what you will, as we stand in and walk in the footsteps of our ancestors, knowing that we are one people,
One people,
one faith,
one
faith,
name,
one
name,
one destiny,
one destiny,
one God.
one God.
God.
Fall on and sing the names that we've said for so many years. Let us all say,
You are the most beautiful people on the face of this earth.
Ashe.